Leads are not just a name on a list. They are people with dreams and people that we need to be serving. And if you want to do this without feeling pushy and without feeling salesy, then this strategy is for you. Stick around. Welcome to the Agent Rise podcast, where we celebrate that you are unique and one of a kind. Instead of asking you to do things that make you cringe, we help you create a clear, personalized plan that aligns with you. No more overthinking or wasting time, just a straightforward path to building a real estate business you love. Welcome, Risers. It's that time once again for the Agent Rise podcast. I'm your host, Neil Mathweg, and today we're talking about how to convert leads without feeling salesy, without feeling pushy. And I know a lot of you struggle with this, where it's like you don't know when to call. You don't want to call and follow up too much and too soon. There's this balance between being persistent and being annoying, right? And another thing that a lot of us struggle with is what to say when we make these phone calls. We know that we shouldn't be just calling to check in or calling to stay in the loop, but what could we be calling and saying instead? And lastly, I think a lot of us struggle with knowing what buyers to take seriously and what buyers not to take seriously, and where to spend our time, because we only have so much time. And following up with buyers that may or may not buy, is that just a big waste of time? And how do we kind of let the cream rise to the top so that we're not wasting time with buyers that may or may not ever do anything? And if you're anything like me, you've probably made a call to a buyer or to a seller once and they didn't call you back. And so therefore you thought, well, they must not be interested, and you stopped following up from that point. And you and I both know that this is a mistake, and it's an easy mistake to make, because that non-return phone call, getting ghosted by them, is not easy to take, and therefore we don't want to keep getting more of that pain, right? And so I want to show you today a way that no matter what, if they don't even call you back, you can still have the confidence to be able to call them and continue to call them until they're ready to take action. Because the thing that we have to remember is that buyers have a dream phase, and some buyers, that dream phase is very short. They take action very quickly. And then there's other buyers that will be in that dream phase for months to years before they will make a decision and before they will take action. And it's your job to continue to be top of mind during that dream phase, no matter how long it is. And so you have to remember that, hey, if they don't call me back this time, I need to keep following up. And what is it that you follow up with? Well, I want to tell you about matchmaking today, because this is the solution. Well, how matchmaking all began, it was in 2017, and I had leads that were coming in from Facebook ads that we were running. And one of the leads, I had a great conversation with her, and she told me everything that she was looking for. She was looking in a neighborhood that I was very familiar with. She was looking for the size of the home and the 2-story and the 3-car garage and near the park. And I understood her entire criteria, and I had a great conversation with her. Our conversation ended quickly because she had to go back to work. She said something like, I'm so sorry, Neil, that I have to go, but I started this new job and I've got to run. Can I call you back at the end of the day? And I said, no problem. Just give me a call back when you get a chance. No problem at all. I never heard from her. She didn't call me back at the end of the day. She didn't call me back the next day. I left her a couple of voice messages. Hey, this is Neil, just calling to check in. Had this great conversation with you. I was wondering if there's anything else I can do to help you. And I never heard from her ever again. And it was crickets from that point on. And I got super concerned that I thought maybe I said something wrong. What did I do? How did I drop the ball here? We had this great conversation and now nothing. And then I got thinking, I'm like, you know what? I know what she's looking for. She gave me her search criteria. I'm going to go look to see if I can find what she's looking for. And sure enough, in our market, we have coming soons. And sure enough, there was a coming soon that had just listed. It wasn't even available on the MLS yet. It was just in the coming soon section. So I gave her a call and I said, hey, this is Neil. Sorry to bother you again, but I was looking through the listings and I found a house that I think is exactly what you're looking for. It's not available on the MLS yet, but give me a call back when you get a chance and I'll tell you more about it. And then it was just moments later and my phone rang and it was her calling to say, I am so sorry. I've been so busy, but tell me about that house. And see, what I learned from that point is that I need to give buyers what they want. They don't want me calling to check in. They don't want me calling to stay in the loop. That's asking them to give me something when I hardly even know them. And so from this day forward, I called it matchmaking. I even ran out of my office and went to my team and I said, it's called matchmaker, 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 make me a match. And we all started matchmaking. And really what you need to be able to matchmake is you need their contact information and their search criteria. And if you get those two things, then you can find what they're looking for. You understand what they're looking for. I even call it the story of criteria. Every buyer has a story. And what is that story? And that story leads to their criteria. An example of this is like, let's say I meet a buyer at an open house and I ask them, what do they think about the house? In their response, they're going to tell me what they like and what they don't like according to their story or criteria. They're going to tell me that they need a bigger space because they got 3 teenagers and they want a bigger family room, or they need a space for mom who might be moving in, or they need a large backyard because they love having events and they want a big backyard to entertain in, right? They're going to tell you their story of criteria. And that's what you have to pick up on. If you can listen to their story of criteria and get their contact information, now you can begin to serve them. Now, before I get rolling today, I want to have you write down a number. Get out a pen and a piece of paper if you can, and write down 833-500-1135. And today, I also put together a special report on everything that I'm going to be teaching around the matchmaking system, how to set your matchmaker up. And you can simply text the word matchmaking, all one word, matchmaking, to 833-500-1135. And if you have any questions throughout the conversation today, go ahead and text me those questions. Happy to reply to them. My number again, 833-500-1135. And now I want to get into some yeah buts, because I know that you have some, right? And some yeah buts that I wrote down is, I don't have anybody to matchmake with. Like, I don't have any buyers. It would be great if I had buyers, because then I could matchmake. And what I want you to focus on here is your buyers and sellers are going to come from your 3-pillar plan. Once you develop your 3-pillar plan, your sphere, your chase, and your attraction, those different pillars are going to be giving you buyers and sellers that are going to raise their hand. And as soon as they do, then you add them to your matchmaker. And right now, if you feel like you don't have any, start thinking about every buyer in the last 6 months that has raised their hand. See, you might not think that you have anybody that's really, really hot because they're not calling on you and you're being more reactive than you are proactive. But if you can start to think through everybody that has raised their hand and maybe even said, hey, we're thinking about buying, but it's going to be a year from now, or we're thinking about buying and we've got to get a few things in line before we do so. And sometimes what we do is we check those people off and we say, oh, they're not ready right now and I'm not going to pay attention to them right now. But these are the buyers that you need to get put into your matchmaker. I remember once I had a buyer that came to me and said he was thinking about buying a home, but he was going to buy in a year. And I used to always say to that, like, hey, just let me know in a year and I'll be ready for you. And I learned that I need to meet with them right now, because there's so many things that we can get in line to get them ready for 1 year. And so if I meet with them right now and maybe get them pre-approved right now, or have them meet with a lender to see what needs to be done, and then I start sending them listings and I start calling them every once in a while to say, hey, I saw this house here and I thought of you. Matchmaking can move this whole entire process up. And so you've got to meet with buyers immediately when they raise their hand, add them to your matchmaker, and then continue to matchmake with them. Maybe it's going to be a year, but again, that dream phase, you got to remember that dream phase. And so matchmake with them over a year, and eventually you're going to be bringing them to the closing table on their new home. The next yeah, but that I have written down here is, yeah, but my leads are unresponsive. It's so pointless to follow up. And I think that's what you're going to experience before you start matchmaking. Once you start matchmaking, you're calling to let them know you found something for them. You're calling to give them the magic words. I saw this house and I thought of you. And when you do this, when you call them and say, I saw this house and I thought of you, they feel like you care about them. They feel like you're out there looking for them. When you call them to say, hey, give me a call back when you get a chance, I'm just calling to check in, just calling to follow up, want to see how your search is going, that's going to go pretty low on the priority list because there's no urgency behind it. There's no pain if they don't follow up. There's no recourse to that. So they're not necessarily going to be calling you to check in, to follow up. But if you call them and say, hey, I saw this house and I thought of you, and it's a house that matches what you're looking for, and you're not going to give me any more details than that, but then to just call you back, I guarantee your phone's going to ring because you're now calling to give them what they want and not calling to just ask them for something. There's a big difference there, and you're going to see your calls become much more responsive. Another one of the yeah buts that I have written down here is that I don't have time to track and follow up with every lead. All right, well, here's something that you need to understand. Matchmaking helps you go the extra mile. I'm not asking you to remove the automation from this as well, though. If you have buyers set up in an automatic search where they get listings automatically, keep doing that. By no means am I asking you to stop that. When you make the phone call, I'm asking you not to check in. I'm asking you to call and give them something. Now, it might be a new listing that you found that they're not aware of, or it might be a listing that you already messaged them automatically through your portal. And if that's the case, you just call and say, hey, I sent over an email yesterday with a listing. I want to make sure you saw it. Let me know if you want to go check this one out. I think this one is one that would interest you, right? You're just going the extra mile to make that phone call, to say, I care, to say, I saw this one and I thought of you. And another one of the benefits of doing this is you build raving fans, because most agents don't do this. Most agents just set their customers up in the portal and let the automatic listings go. But when you call and you say, hey, I saw this one and I thought of you, it builds raving fans, and raving fans will start to tell their friends about you and your services. And if you don't believe me, just watch it happen. It does. It's really amazing because you're going the extra mile, and it impresses them. And when you do that, they're going to start raving about you. I guarantee it. And the last yeah but that I have written down here, but I think I already covered this one, was my leads ghost me after the first contact. And again, that's because you're calling to follow up. I think we see this most when we are working with open houses. We meet somebody at an open house and we kind of feel like we hit it off with them. And then on Monday morning, we call and check in, and we call and follow up and say, thanks for meeting me at the open house. And is there anything I can do to help you? And we try that attempt, and they ghost us, right? And it's because we're not giving them what they want. Now, if you listen to that buyer at that open house and you picked up on their search criteria and you're understanding their story of criteria, and then you call them back, maybe not on Monday because that might look weird. Maybe you call them back a week or 2 weeks from now, which I know this sounds even crazier, but I'm telling you, there's power in it when you call and say, hey, I met you about a week or 2 weeks ago at an open house. I don't know if you remember me. Anyways, I was looking through the MLS and I saw a house and I thought of you. I remember you telling me that you need a big family room. I found this house that has a 20 by 30 family room in the finished lower level, and I think it would be absolutely perfect for you. Give me a call back when you get a chance and I'll tell you more about it. See, now what that message there tells me is that I was listening, right? I was listening to the customer. I'm not just calling to see if I can rope them into being a buyer's agent and working with me. No, I called them when I had something for them. I called them when I saw a house that reminded me of what they were looking for, and I reached out to them. And I'm telling you, this is where the power is. And a lot of us don't get that. A lot of us just go into this follow-up mode, and we go do open houses, and we look for people to become best friends with. And if that doesn't happen, then we feel empty and we feel like we're not completed. And we really struggle to follow up, right? We really feel like they're ghosting us. I'm telling you, any buyer that has ghosted you and you have their contact information and their search criteria, start matchmaking. Put them into your matchmaker and start looking for properties. Call them when you find a property that matches. And then if they don't call back, call them again when another property matches. And if they don't call back, call again when another property doesn't match, because all you're doing is matchmaking and giving them what they want. And if they reject that and they don't want that, then remove them from your list. But if they don't call you and they don't follow up, then just keep matchmaking, because eventually you're going to call them and they're going to be like, yes, now is the time. Tell me more about this house. They're going to be just like the example that I used earlier. They're busy right now. They got so much going on. And if you call them and say, hey, I saw this house and I thought of you, they will take action. Now, again, if you want to put this all into action, I put it all into a Google Doc. It's not a fancy report by no means, but it's all of the details that you need for matchmaking, how to set your matchmaker up, what it all looks like. And again, you can text the word matchmaking to 833-500-1135. Now let's get matchmaking. Go download the Matchmaker Tracker system. Again, thanks again for watching. Hope you have a great day. And like always, remember to be the reason somebody smiles today.